Effects. Warp Stabilizer. So, let's consider the following effect in the Distort folder. Warp Stabilizer is a built-in video stabilizer that is available in Premiere. It is doing a pretty good job. We import a video specially shot with a shaking camera and with a sufficiently long focus. Let's try to stabilize it. We will make 2 copies of a video. We apply Warp Stabilizer with the usual result settings, by default Smooth Motion for one of the videos, and with the No Motion settings for the second video. We can do other things while the video is being analyzed. View and work with other videos. We can also work with this clip, but don't change its speed and size, because our analysis will reset due to new frames will appear. We can monitor in the Effect Controls panel what stage our analysis is at. Now, let's look at the Warp Stabilizer functionality. It has several stabilization methods. The first one, that is located here, is Subspace Warp, that uses space rectification. Let's say our video is shot with a long focus. It's not problematic to stabilize such a video. If the video is shot with a wide focus, for example, shot on phones or cameras, in addition, there is no motion blur that appears when the camera shakes intensely and when the entire frame is blurred. After stabilization, such artifacts form ripples on the clip. So, Subspace Warp tries to additionally straighten this space that is shot at a wide angle. Space can start to float. It can be interesting when we have a shot of one person who is shot at a wide angle. The stabilizer is focused on a person and the rear space begins to float, where traces of stabilization are traced very clearly. So, when the video analysis is over, we will consider each resulting piece of video. In the first case, we have got a soft stabilization, and it's a completely static frame in the second case. If we look closely, we will understand what causes the stabilization. The greater the stabilization, the more the edges of the frame are cut off. It has cut as much as possible at the edges to achieve full stabilization. Secondly, it can correct position, scale and rotation when the camera is rotated additionally and when it is approaching or moving away. Another method is a perspective alignment. This is just the same rotation of the cameras when using zoom. And the last method is Subspace Warp. Sometimes when we stabilize and see that the space is floating, then we need to try something simpler. For example, to correct only the position. Then it will look better and better than with Subspace Warp. Next, we have framing, how the cropping will take place. There are several options. Firstly, it stabilized the area. It's stabilized by didn't crop. A frame appeared on the side. The center of the frame is static and other space moves. Secondly, it stabilizes and crop. It stabilizes and shows a frame that we can change ourselves. Thirdly, there is stabilize, crop and auto scale. It's the default method. And the last method is stabilize, crop, auto scale and synthesize edges. In this mode, it will try to synthesize the edges of the frame, leaving the same framing in order to get the inner surface of the frame. Premiere is starting to lag, but let's try to apply this method to the purity of the experiment. We will calculate it. So, it counted something. It protested for 5 minutes, but there was no result. We can admit that this method doesn't work in principle. Further, there are more detailed settings that require more calculation. We can enable the more detailed analysis checkbox. It will recalculate again and reanalyze. There are also settings to correct more specific points. Although, to be honest, I never deal with it, because it's enough basic settings for me. This is how Warp Stabilizer works, and you can easily use it. But don't forget, this is not a panacea for everything. People often think that if they shot a video with very shaky hands, then this function will cope with the stabilization in any case. No, that's not true. It's better to shoot the video initially with some kind of stabilizer in order to edit a warp stabilizer for a better effect later. But if you shot the video poorly and try to stabilize it, then you would get artifacts, the space would float and there would be ripples on the screen that could grow out of motion blur. Therefore, you need to know about this tool, but don't count on it completely.